get started here, our community has lost a dedicated officer, fireman, and most importantly, a friend. And I said, I think I've known him my whole life. It's like losing a friend. And I like to have a moment of silence for the things he's done for this community and things he's done for me. So we could have a moment of silence. Okay, we'll begin. God bless Henry.
Amen.
Everybody a chance to look over the minutes?
Yeah, move to approve.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I wasn't here, I'll abstain.
Okay, Tammy abstained. Everybody a chance to go through the claims?
Move to approve.
Second.
Second. Any discussion on it? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Under old business, we've been talking about hiring a fire chief for months. And I think Morgan, we need to hire someone to help her figure the funding for this, where it needs to come from, what we need to do. And Kristi and them have got Greg Garatos available to do that. And he will charge us, but that way we can get it done right. I know we have the funds, it's just we need to know a long term how we're gonna do this, so,
And we're taking.
where it comes from, so.
So I make a
Anything you wanna
motion
add?
that we go ahead and, anybody, hire Greg?
And I've reviewed his proposal and find it to be acceptable. And I have worked with Mr. Garatos
I'll second that, Dave.
The motion is,
periodically for quite some time.
okay.
Periodically for quite some time.
Got a motion and a second, any discussion on this, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, this is something that's come up a few times, I think it's kind of fall under old business.
So we did that.
Yep.
Talking about doing that.
Jeff Powell and Alicia Barr. Put a couple houses set up.
Yeah.
Proposal.
Yeah, we've got, well underway, she's just about got the first one, done, and the other one, the basement's, coming right along. So we're working on getting the, utilities finalized and getting those installed. What we're here before the council this evening is just to kind of confirm and finalize the plan of attack on how we're gonna do this. In the, original, approval of the project, we were, came to an agreement, and I had Elaine check on this, that it was agreed that one sewer line lateral would be paid and one water line lateral would be paid, connection fees, I'm sorry. So we're gonna do that. We've met with Dave out there. We're working with Andy Longwell on this also. He's gonna do our boring and stuff for us on this. And got a plan of attack of how we're gonna go ahead and make this all happen. What I'm just here this evening to do is just to confirm that our thought processes are still in line and that we're gonna be able to go ahead and get materials ordered and get things finalized. We have had conversations with the water, who's taking care of that? Gary, there you go. All right, so we've talked about that there. And I think we've got it to work down to where we're gonna do 2 1-inch taps on the west side of 300. Andy's out there, he's offered, and we're gonna take care of getting the tap across the lines across the road, so we can be hooked on. We've got the water meter pits location marked out there where we're gonna put them. They're gonna be in this easement right of way that we've proposed, that we've got as part of the plat. And then from there, and this is a clarity that I'm looking for here, is anything from the water meter back to the main would be the ownership in the end of the town, and anything from the water meter heading east to the individual houses would be individual ownership by those homes. So I just want to clarify that that is the understanding, and then we're all correct with that, okay. And then we've got our sewer laterals worked out, and lift stations designed, and got all that pulled together. So I think we're ready to make this happen. We're just wanting the final thumbs up and blessings to make it all happen, and we're.
I think everything's good.
Yep.
Make a motion, they go forward.
Second.
Second, all in favor? You're good?
All right.
Thank you, Jim.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yep.
Okay. I got Lincoln and Jerry.
Stupid.
Do you need us to come up there?
Oh, yeah. But you're on the big
Thanks,
screen.
Dave. Really appreciate that. Gotta get famous somehow, right? Recognize?
Hollywood maybe calling.
She's gonna do all the talking.
Well, I want to thank you guys for hearing us. I know it's been an exhausting and emotional week, so I just know that we've, everybody's kind of in the same place, but I know it's been really hard on you guys for sure. So we have 2 just things that we wanted to talk about. The first one is, maybe you're not aware, but we live in the greenhouse, Hawk's old house, right next to the property that you all bought, the old Napa Center. So we're in the house right next to that. And we've been there for, I think, 23 years. I have to check the age of my kids to know how long we've done things, but I think we've been there for over 20 years. And we had talked over the years with the previous owner about what to do on the line between our property and what was the auction. And so we just are coming to you all to see what you think about putting up a fence. I know you're talking about making that a community center. The current situation is, it's, first of all, the only dividing, and we don't know that this is an actual division. Like when we moved in, it was kind of like you own the property that's outlined by the trees, right? So I don't know exactly what the line is in between that property and us, but there's currently old, rusted, like wire, just old wire fence, right? It's in bad shape, it's dangerous. I was cleaning out our side of the fence line last weekend, cut myself all up. Our grand dog is constantly running through there, and the whole fence line we fought poison ivy there for years, and it's in bad shape. Steve Craney, that used to have that place, had talked for years about putting a privacy fence up between us and them, and it just never happened. And so we're just coming to you all to see if you have a plan, if it's something, I know it's probably not even on anybody's radar, but it is a danger. I mean, it's just, it's like it's a concern of ours. It's our side of it is on a drop. So it seems like it would make more sense to put a fence over on the flat side, because ours is a hill. So anyway, we're just kind of coming to you all because that's something that we've kind of messed with for years, and we just thought we'd see what you
You
think.
got a survey of the properties, don't we, when we bought the property?
I don't know, we have not.
I just left your old survey.
I'll take Jeff's money, you'll probably need to have it done.
Yeah, probably need to do a survey there for that, and then see what we need to take a look at there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see us have it all cleaned up.
Yeah, we could contact the
Yeah.
K&K or a couple of people and see what we could do to.
And I even wondered too, in the interim, I mean, we try to be real careful about what we spray around there, but it is full of poison ivy, poison sumac. I mean, it's full. And so there was, Duke Energy was out there last week, we had a tree come down. So we had a tree service out there, we had Duke Energy out there. But they, they had parked on the side of the auction and kind of climbed through all that. It's rough to navigate. And I think it's dangerous with all that poison ivy, So I don't know if that's something you all could even just
We could probably take it out.
have your people get rid of all that until we figure out.
I think that'd be the first thing to do, is just clean up the dumpster. Take it
Yeah,
out.
I think that'd
You
be
don't mind?
awesome. No, we definitely would appreciate it. I feel like it would help all of us.
We were talking a couple 100 feet,
Yeah,
Maybe that much,
good swap with the backhoe.
Yeah, I mean, really honestly, for you guys, considering that it's the town's property now and the town has, those kind of resources for you guys are just throwing a couple guys at it with a couple pieces of equipment or
it's not long. I don't know
Yeah,
how to put it.
Why don't we, I'll make a motion to go there and wipe that out, get it cleaned up,
I'll second.
make that transition a little bit nicer than what it is right now.
We appreciate that.
Gary, would you pass that on?
Yep.
Okay.
Gary, get a price on some fencing too. Get a price on some fencing.
We appreciate it, for sure.
That's motion, a second.
Hey, vote.
Aye.
You done?
Thank you.
You got something else?
Yeah, it's just a question because I don't know who, I was gonna bug Elaine about this when I called the other day. I have called animal service many times. The whole area of town over there is just overrun by cats. We probably have 15 cats that come to our house. I think there's about 40 that come out of the bottom of Water Tower. And the neighbors across the street that used to have C&J, they're coming over and talking to us like, what are we gonna do? Animal control doesn't really have any answers. I'm just curious if you guys have ideas, solutions.
Brad, do they even come and get them anymore?
No, because they've got so many, maybe you can call.
Yeah, they told us to try to deal with it ourselves, but the thing is, they're feral. Many years ago, I tried to trap some, I took them and got them fixed. You can't get them. They're wild, and there are so many. There are so many. So I just don't know what we do, I don't know if you guys have, I know that people have ideas.
They're
on how to
old.
do it. I saw your face. Lincoln says the same thing. I'm trying not to be mean, but it's like a problem, it's a concern for sure.
That's where they do it. I kind of wondered.
Well, it is worth noting, I forgot you were gonna talk about that, because it's just like, we can't keep up, like, at first we thought, like last winter, we thought there was a mama with some babies, and we thought, how inhuman can we be? We have to let this mama and her babies weather the storm of the winter, out, and then, but it's like, they're cats, man, it's like babies are having babies. You know what I mean? Like, we can't,
There are
every time we turn
literally
around.
probably 20 between Chuck and Judy and us, and I would say close to 40 coming out of the bottom of the trailer court. It's insanity. They can't be healthy. I think about disease and stuff like that, and I feel sorry for, I don't want to be mean, but also, I don't know if you guys have solutions or ideas.
Yeah, I don't know if the county or, I don't know, man, but it's
Walmart's the only rescue local, and they don't do very many of them. Because they're constantly moving for new places to house. There might be some out-of-town ferals that come in, but normally what they do is they trap them, they fix them, they clip an ear, and then they put them right back where they got them.
I think
Which is what
even
you
that
gotta
would
say,
be
fixing
better.
would be cool.
Even fixing them and re-releasing them would be an improvement to what there is, because, there were maybe 4 or 5 going into winter, and I'm not kidding you, there's over 20 now. And, they tear up our trash every week, it's just a mess.
They reproduce every 8 months. So.
Yeah. Well, probably, I can confirm that a lot. Yeah, well, thank you.
So I don't know, it's out there.
Yeah. If you have any other ideas or whatever, we definitely are looking to help. We're trying to keep that area neat and nice, but it's It's crazy over there, so.
Probably like when I was in the same.
Well, I was gonna say,
Lincoln says the same thing,
if you would grant me a special dispensation.
Thank you for your time, you guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wow.
Boys and Girl Club funds?
The last, I forget how many years, it's been a long time, we've always given them $5,000 twice a year. And he just got an email just asking again if we would still do that to help them.
Motion to approve that $5,000 twice a year.
I'll second that. I think it's been a good cause.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Okay. Bill?
Well, good evening, and my name is Phil Talbert, and my wife with me is Kathy DeBon. Allier Talbert, have been born and raised in Morristown. We both graduated in 1970. It doesn't seem like yesterday, but it's been a while. But I'm coming to you tonight. I had heard and have seen when I was a young kid running around town here in the 60s, we had a fountain in front of the pool room that I know had the best water of any place around. And in the process, I have become acquainted with the fact that there is a fountain that is not in really good shape, but it's still the original creation, if you will. And so I wanted to come tonight to talk to the board about the possibility of either purchasing that item or make a donation to the Boys and Girls Club, or I'm kind of a history buff kind of guy, and my wife and I live in Greenfield, but we have a lot of close ties to here in Morristown. So I was asking what I should do, and they said, come see you. So that's why we wanted to come tonight and ask that request if it's possible. We'd be very interested in doing that. And I have over the years acquired, well, when you live here, you know, this or that, and you get some things. Why, I've done that over time, and have several items from Morristown because it's been, though we live in Greenfield, why, it's still part of our home and community. So that's why I'm here this evening.
Do we still have it?
Yes. Right, Gary?
Yeah, it's like our own skid, it's, like he said, it's not in the greatest shape.
I saw it one time, it was pretty crappy.
Yeah.
I think it was.
It needs some tender love.
We found a good home for it. If we found a good home for it, it would be
Yeah.
better than sitting where it's at right now.
Right.
And I'll assure you, it's not gonna go anywhere else but in our backyard.
No, I would give more than for that. So,
I don't think we got any issues, it's just that something got yanked out years and years ago. I make a motion to give it to him.
motion second, here, discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
You pick it up, you haul it.
Okay, and we'll make a donation through the office here, or through the Boys and Girls Club direct, or what, how should we proceed to help make a donation to our community?
Who owns, is it town property?
Yeah.
It is therefore surplus town property. You can do a donation to the Boys and Girls Club, but you're probably in a more appropriate position if there is a donation to the general fund of the community.
So we can do that too. I'm bringing a check over.
Yeah, we might.
Yeah.
The long and short of it is, even though it's been sitting in the back lot for 25 years and it's not worth maybe anything, you don't want to be accused of giving away town property.
Okay.
Well, I'll make the motion, we make that surplus tonight. Second.
You've already
All in favor?
done that.
Thought it already been done. And then to the town at the time.
That'd be
We
great,
do
thank
donate
you.
to the Boys and Girls Club, we just did that, so.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get with, I've been the president of the Alumni Association for 6 different times here at Morristown. And so we have a little room over in the City Hall, so we kind of know each other that way, so I'll get that check over to them, and thank you very much. for
Thank
that.
you.
Really appreciate it.
Nice to see you, Fred.
Nice to see you guys, thank
How
you.
much? How much?
Is there an amount you want that we could help with the Boys and Girls Club?
I'd be thinking.
We'll give $100 to the Boys and Girls Club.
Donation is donation.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We usually do $3,000 for everybody. Tom's coming in halfway through the year, starting in June. Can we give him $1,500 towards his HSA?
Halfway through, sure.
Halfway through? Okay, that's all I need to know. Can you, first somebody tell me yes, so I can?
I'll make a motion, we give him 1,500.
He's been an employee for 7 years now.
But he-
Part-time.
Part-time doesn't get the benefits. So I guess that's up to you guys. Part-time doesn't get any benefits. He used to get half of, like,
Alright.
but now that, because otherwise if we give him 3, he just started full-time.
Let's give him 15. Get him started.
A motion,
That's my motion.
Second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Morgan brought something else to me this evening. Henry has longevity pay. And it's, this month is one of the things.
Yes.
And, do you guys want to pay Henry's longevity for the year?
It should be 3,000 for the whole year. We've only paid him $750 so far. And then it would be, it's for each year that you've worked.
Right.
So we could pay it all out in one at the beginning of each year for everybody, but we've broken it down in 4s. So I just wanted to
That
know.
was just to pay it.
Yeah, just to pay
Can
it.
you do that? He's deceased.
I have not reviewed your longevity pay policy.
We probably don't even have one.
I have an ordinance of one.
We have an ordinance that paid it out.
That was my
first.
second was, I asked Dave, because previously what I did before was the banking world. I said, I wanted to talk to our Jill to see, do we have to give it in his, like, the check in his name? Because that's paying to get it cashed.
No, and that will never work. Let's take one issue at a time. I haven't seen the ordinance, but it hopefully would state some sort of an accrual date. In other words, on the anniversary of your hire,
Your served.
middle of the year, or whatever. So whatever that says, okay? Now, as to payment, it technically should be paid to the estate. I'm
Correct.
assuming they open estates. Sometimes estates aren't open because all the bank accounts are payable to a beneficiary on death or something like that. So inquire as to whether they're gonna open an estate. If not, then you could fall back. Well, the other thing is, we don't know if it's an intestate estate or a probated will. That inquire of his wife, at the appropriate time.
Right.
Is there a will, or are you gonna open a estate? If there is no will, you can go into the intestate statute, and the wife would be essentially the majority recipient. So, now, can you do that? Yeah, you have, as a legislative body, significant discretion to deal with benefits and compensation. You just want to have a logical progression and some documentation of what you're doing.
So then so I'll get the ordinance. I'm pretty sure it says per years of service, and I have to look what his.
It's per year.
And so this would be like his 33rd, and you're maxed out after like 20 years anyways.
Okay,
So he would have already,
So then,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter, the accrual.
yeah, he was already maxed.
Okay.
I say we pay him for the year, of course.
Okay, and then I'll follow, not anytime.
Anything he's got, I'm gonna make him, look, anything he's got coming that's pending, pay. Pay the estate,
Yes.
pay the family, give fuel.
Well, we're talking about, we were talking about this while, about his insurance. I think his wife is on his policy. That's something we can continue. We still want to drop it, right?
I don't want to just shoot for the hip. But again, the feasibility of continuing that coverage is going to turn on the language of the policy of insurance. I hate to keep saying this. I haven't seen that. You know, I'm happy to review it if someone gives me a copy,
I'll
okay?
contact them.
Brady.
Yeah, they all, it's Brady, it's McGowan Group in Shelbyville, like, they've all been notified. I'm still waiting on paperwork. They said it could take 5 to 7 days,
Right.
but nothing can be done until you have the certificate anyway.
That's certificate.
Yeah.
Claim.
So if we can still cover insurance, that's what you're asking, okay.
But the longevity,
We
I got a
got that.
motion,
Second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
I got one more thing. We had, Henry had really looked forward, we had worked out kind of a thought pattern where Brad had received a gold retirement badge for the 23rd of July, I believe, wasn't it, Brad? 22nd, 23rd.
Supposed to be around the 23rd.
There's fireman, Metcalf, who was, I think still is, building a box, shadow box.
Yeah.
And I had told Henry we would give him the flag and the gun that he carried. Is everybody all right with that? Then there's Elaine that's putting together a box for the flag that was flew out here. Is that correct? So everybody's all right with everything that's going on? Okay. Just want to make sure. So, okay, we'll move on. Morgan,
That was it,
that was it.
sorry.
We'll move on to legal.
You have in front of you, Mr. President, a confirming resolution, because I wasn't at the last meeting, I apologize, that confirms what is reflected in your minutes of May 22, and that is naming Interim Marshal Brad Petticoat as town. And all it requires is your signature and provided to the Clerk-Treasurer for inclusion in the record.
This is the resolution to make.
Yeah, it's reflected in your minutes. It's the
Yeah,
written,
very good.
That's a written version.
Yeah, it's a written.
yeah.
So we just need to sign that.
Yeah, we need to pass the resolution, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's a confirming resolution, so, you know, one of you may move that we execute a confirming resolution, confirming the voice vote, elevating Deputy Interim Town Marshal Brad Petticoat to the position of Town Marshal,
So
effective May 22, 2020.
Moved and second.
Whatever he said.
Whatever he said.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have to read the second time?
You're good. No,
Okay.
It's a resolution, not an ordinance.
Okay. Marshall. Pass it around, huh?
Or scan me back a signed copy of this stuff.
Yes.
Keep the reading.
there we're at.
That's really all I have for this evening.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Okay, Brad, you're up.
First off, Craig found out that the state is going to be installing radar signs on US 52. It's in the 25-26 budget. So one of the questions we had was, do we take the chance and put the ones out that we purchased and the state turns around and says, oh, they obviously don't need them? Or do we put them out and then hope they still install them and then we move them someplace else later?
I got a question on that.
Mhm.
I just thought. if the state's gonna put them out, and we know that. What about putting them on a trailer that we can move around?
Yeah, one of them, we were actually looking at a design that we had demonstrated the other day where they take, it's literally the radar sign and they make it so it rotates 90 degrees. So when you're pulling it, it doesn't push with the wind. And we could use a pre-existing trailer that we have and the solar panel that came with it.
You guys wanna, how's that?
That's one of them.
Yep, that's one of the two that we're going on 52.
You want another trailer to stick one on?
No, I think with what we're doing, with putting them out there, we really can only gonna be able to use one trailer, but I was thinking we could put it in the industrial park, on 500, probably southbound, or, somewhere in there, or, on Industrial Drive, out by, past the railroad track, somewhere in there would be the other options.
I've got a light trailer with big lights.
Oh, yeah.
It's all taken off, and you could use that.
Okay.
If you guys look it over.
I like the mobile idea, because if you guys need it somewhere else or see a need,
Right.
you can, hey, put it over here for a while.
Well, and the other option we're thinking too with the trailer, it's not only a radar trailer, we can actually put digital sign verbiage on it, so we could change it to work zone or, change lanes or something like that, wherever we could set it up for, and they could take it out on construction sites, or if we have to close a road or something like that, we can just program it to say that. It'll run for 16 days on solar. So.
I'll send Gary out there to my son's. I got it sitting out there. I think the top's all off of it now. He's looking over and see what he can do with it. That trailer.
Where's that?
Out there with my son's.
Good idea.
Just give it to town and they use it.
That'll work. Then we'll look at putting the other one out in the industrial park then.
Yeah.
We have all the signs. It was 36 boxes that showed up, so they have to assemble them. And so, yeah, we're kind of working through that right now to get those.
Two are going to, this park.
Yep, 2 are going at the park, 1 on North Street, and then we were going to put 2 on 52, which now we're not. So we'll move those to the locations. And then we'll have 1 12-inch that we don't have a spot for yet, because I don't want to put 2 on North Street because there's really no place to put it eastbound. I figured westbound at the bottom of the hill would be the best spot for it. We'll find another spot for that 12-inch because it's a smaller sign. It's a little bit easier to post somewhere.
Good. Too many on that.
We could even put it by the school, so we could do that. I got the quote for the Chevy Silverado. We went through some different models, and the one we chose, the final price was $51,980. So it's within $1,000 of all the other quotes that we had. What we added was the Z71 package to make it the same as the Pursuit package. The only difference is it does not have the larger alternator. It's going to have a standard alternator, but we figured with LED lights that probably won't be an issue. Typically also you get a better warranty with a standard alternator than the heavy duty. They don't typically cover those, so I think we'll be ahead with that. I got the quotes for the equipment. Waymire was $15,263. Safety Systems out of Richmond was $7,611.
Why the big difference?
Well, they are almost apple to apples, but the Safety System does not have the deck system, which is the pull-out beds, and does not have seems like some of the costs are higher with the labor. That's some of the differences in it.
The Waymire?
Yeah, the Waymire was higher because of that. I did notice some differences in the quote, so I called Safety Systems tonight and asked for an updated quote, and that would be our total right now is the $7,611. I called Carlton's in Rushville for the deck system. That'd be an additional $1,679, and then a bed cover is $1,600 from Carlton.
So we're still at the outsourcing.
Yeah, we're at, they would put us at like under 10 or right at 10, going with safety system. Safety, the big difference too is right now, I do know from talking to other agencies, Waymar is only doing 2 vehicles at a time. And so you wait for quite a while. Safety systems, we will wait, but safety systems comes to us and builds the truck here on site. Then they ship everything to us. So we just have to give them a bay to work in, and then they handle all that. And that does include transferring the camera system, transferring the radio. I am gonna have to order a new e-ticket printer for that one and a new scanner. That will be an additional $808. So we're still under that about $10,000 range somewhere.
Pretty obvious who to go with.
Make a motion on the safety system.
Second.
Any discussion on that? All in favor? Aye. We got a motion on the vehicle, put it on the truck.
We got that truck first, but we want in what we're
Oh, I
gonna
thought
do.
we did
I was like, last time we voted on a Silverado.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think he was purchase or lease was what we were trying to decide,
Oh,
what was
I'm
the,
still waiting on to hear back who we speak with on the lease. This truck's actually being built 2 days ago, so we have to wait on it to be built anyway, so I'll talk with finance.
I think that was kind of the, we knew the truck, we just didn't know if we were gonna outright buy it or lease it.
Just buy it.
You'll buy it, or?
We got the funds. But the money we save by leasing, we renew in what, 3 years?
Yeah, and we can choose an open-end lease or a closed-end lease, which would
Here's where
be,
we get into the
Can
cost
we
of
put all
changing
this
that
stuff
sucker
on it
over.
for leasing and everything?
yes, I did verify that. I did also check about doing the pre-made delivery, and the problem they've run into is the equipment they choose generally isn't the highest quality, and once it's on there, you're pretty much stuck with it, so you're either gonna have to replace it yourself or spend the extra money. So they said, money-wise, you're actually ahead because they charge more for the equipment they put on at the factory than they do what you can put on by an outfitter. And all the police vehicles now come out of Mexico, they go to Texas, they go to the same factory where they build them at, to put the police package on, and then it finds its way up here.
Something to buy.
But they do have a second-hand lender here in Indiana that they use for leasing. He just says we just have to speak with them to go through the steps of what we want and what type of lease we want.
I just think of the cost of change, every time we change something over, the costs, of changing that over and the changes we always have to make when we do that.
We've been fortunate, we've used every vehicle, we pass it down, goes to the fire department.
We get some, we get our, excuse the expression, we get our mileage out of them. I say we buy it.
I'll second that.
Okay, got a motion to buy? Any
That's it.
discussion? All in favor?
We are not buying a new camera system. I checked on that with Waymire. He highly suggested we do not switch to Motorola right now because they're having a ton of problems. So he said, get the mileage out, what you can with that camera system and keep it. So we're gonna transfer the radar, the in-car camera, and the radio will all be transferred into the new one.
As long as the radio's good.
Yeah, new radios are about $5,000 right now, so.
I'm gonna get one that's intrinsic.
The Tahoe transfer, the quote from Waymire was $2,789.98. I don't know why they couldn't throw 2 more cents in there. And then safety systems was $2,251.30. And that is just complete swap of anything blue is turned to red. And the light bar can be switched over from blue to red, so we don't have to buy a new light bar. We would just
How
keep
much
that light
did
bar.
you say Waymire was?
Waymire was $2,789.98.
Safety is 2250.
5130.
They'll come out here and do that too,
Yep.
on site.
I'm gonna say, let's get safety systems for $500.
Yeah. Got a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll say.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
The 2020 Tahoe needs tires. Runyon's is $795 for Goodyear. Riley Park Tire is $741.64 for Firestone.
Local.
Okay. The plan right now is to park public safety on South Street for the funeral on Saturday. So we're asking to close South Street from Patterson to Washington Street. And we're going to have volunteers, hopefully, it sounds like from Posey Township, possibly to park cars. And we're going to park all public safety on South Street so they can leave with the procession whenever we leave, just to make it, have them all in one spot.
And the church is going to use some parking lots.
Yeah, yep, and then we've already issued letters to everybody that lives on South Street and tell them what's going on. We're gonna hopefully single lane park up to the park, or up to the church parking lot, and then double lane if we have to get everybody in there. Since we don't know, we could have 5 or we could have 500 show up, we just don't know. The school is going to let us have a bus driver and at least one, maybe 2 of the activity buses to pick people up. And we're gonna park back at the baseball diamond, both churches, front of the elementary school, so we have plenty of parking to utilize. And then we have Hancock County is going to block the roads for us. We're gonna block 500 East and 1200 North, or I'm sorry, 500 East and 1100 North, so no one comes from Bungie, and we're gonna block Asbury Road and 1200 North so nobody can come south. We're gonna park all public safety on Asbury, and we're gonna, any overflow civilians, we're gonna have on 1100 North that fill, after we fill up the cemetery, is the plan right now. And then sounds like New Palestine Police Department will be maybe coming to work the town for us, either one of those days.
Pretty good.
Thanks for putting those together.
Yeah, and we've got a few more things that we're just looking for a public safety speaker right now. And once we get that, it's about really the last thing we have to determine. You want to bring up food?
We can.
Okay, and we'll do that now.
You can go ahead.
Okay.
We know what we've been talking about.
What we were talking about is we determined that probably the people are going to be there all day Friday and all day Saturday. Right now, we're looking at, we were going to pick Henry up at 1 o'clock on Friday and escort him up here. So we could very easily have people here from 2 until whenever we're done on Friday night. And then Saturday, we'll be starting with the casket guard practice about 9 in the morning, so until everything's over. So we were speaking about trying to get some quotes for sandwiches to purchase and keep at the school in the FFA room, and then getting them individually wrapped so people can grab them and eat while they're there, and getting some water and putting it in a cooler for all the public safety that's going to meet up in the old gym while we're there on Saturday and Sunday, or Friday and Saturday.
And the family.
Yep.
You guys have anything in mind?
We're only at home.
We've talked about, we've looked at like Subway, just getting like a sandwich platter. It's easy to do, and I think Kroger also does lunch meat sandwich platters. They were actually cheaper, so you're talking probably under $100, or right at $100, if we go with Kroger. And that's like, I think the platter was, did I tell you it's for 30?
Yeah.
Couple. It's for 30, so even if we got 2 platters or 3 platters.
Get 3.
And then I thought about getting a box of corn chips.
Yeah.
And then we was gonna get 4 cases of water.
Get about 3 cases of water. It's gonna be hot.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be hot. I'd say get what you need.
Yeah, just get whatever you need.
And we'll just have all that staged then there, and they've already worked out where the family can be at in the school to kind of have a spot to get away.
Mm-hmm.
Friday night, we're gonna just have it as a visitation, try and keep it moving, and then Saturday, we'll use it when everybody's in the bleachers and finding seats.
Don't be busy.
Yeah, we are gonna have Greenfield and Sugar Creek's ladder parked in the town hall parking lot on Friday nights. We're gonna close off the town hall parking lot. That's where we're gonna hang the flag from the fire trucks, and then we're gonna mark him off duty right here in front of the fire station once we get over here. And we've got that wrote up and passed on to dispatch.
Good. It's terrible we gotta do this, but.
Is somebody streaming it?
That was brought up, the school, Dan did say if we wanted to stream it, they could from the live stream inside the gym if we wanted to. I have not asked Freeman if they were going to do anything yet, but it would really be just as easy to use the equipment that's already there if somebody wanted to do that.
I'm sure it's okay with the family for that part of it, but I meant like, even just the procession part, something that
Oh,
would
you put the camera.
I'm sure somebody will probably.
I'm sure there'll be more than one.
A ton,
I'm
yeah.
not quite sure. And then the plan is to leave the Tahoe out there until Monday, and then we'll take care of that on Monday. I'll give everybody an opportunity.
Take that truck the other day as well.
Yep, take flags down.
Good.
And then, let's see here, we had, last month, we had 24 citations and warnings, 9 of those were speed, 4 of those were noise ordinance. We had 56 calls. Shelby County had 64 calls. I took 46 of those, Tom took 10 of them, and my mileage was 1,344 of that. Patrol was 922, personal 172, and training was 250 last month. So,
Good deal.
yep, I'll get those companies called and get all that started with the truck.
Thank you.
Thanks for everything.
Thanks. Yep.
Okay, Gary, you're up.
Short and sweet, I need pumps. Okay, you see, Peerless Midwest is a company that Westlers kind of recommended. And they came out and talked to me, and I like what they said. And you can see what they wrote. They would take care of the 5 high-speed surface pumps and the 3 wells. Maintenance yearly, which I'm gonna say is probably highly recommended because the way our pumps are and the way the water is in Morristown with the iron and stuff, we really need to keep them, so.
And Peerless is a Indianapolis company.
Yes, big
And
Well-known company.
well-known, and they're also, Greenfield uses them and most
Yeah,
of these.
right.
So I think it's wise thing.
They've been around a long time.
We've had some issues with the ones that we've been doing the last few
Right.
months.
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
So you have a service contract, don't you?
Right, if you,
Here on the back.
if you wanna do it, well, I'll contact him tomorrow and let him know that,
I'll make a motion to accept it. I know Brian's looking over it. He approves it.
I second that. No.
I think they'll do the town a great service for what you've said. So, all in favor?
Aye.
now, well, others probably don't know, we was up till midnight last night keeping the West End lift station going. One pump went completely out, the other one is pumping the best it can. Well, we had our new pump that we thought goes in there, and come to find out, they shipped us the wrong pump. So we had to rewire it to make it work, and it's working. So we contacted the company that Avon Pumps, and they are going to ship us a brand new pump that's supposed to fit that, and, which is on here, at their cost and their expedite. My question is now, I had a paper and I messed it up somewhere. As you can see, the pump, we need 2 of them. The other one is just holding on its own and it's gonna have to be rebuilt. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. So, to get one pump is 14,000, and to have it expedited here, is half of that, 3,600. It'd be like $1,800.
Oh.
And then I don't need that bracket at the bottom. I messed up because we have them back at the shop. So roughly it'd be what, roughly 18,000 to get a pump here, within the next 2 weeks. Or if you don't want to have it expedited, it'll take up to 8 weeks getting it here. And I'm not sure that other pump's gonna hold up 8 weeks.
We can't have a failure.
No,
The mold.
because last night we had Caldwell's with their tanker truck, kept pumping it out for us while we was trying to get the pump in there.
That's what we want.
Yeah, yeah.
saw this big truck coming up the back out.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
We can't have no
I
failure.
gotta have parts.
We actually,
And those two pumps have been in there, one pump has been there since 2006.
Jumping.
And that's the one that went down completely. And the other one, I'm saying, has probably been in there since 2010 or 11, because we've replaced it.
that's a really harsh environment.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah.
Having one, okay, so we're replacing one and we'll have one on the shelf, or we're gonna replace it
Well,
at the same time?
We have one that's in there that we can pull back out as a spare, but it's not the size that it's supposed to be.
Okay.
So we have to change the VFDs and everything else. But Vaughn sent us a brand new one.
Plus
But they're gonna let us keep that pump because they made the mistake. Then we wanna buy one to replace the one that's in there now that's just barely hanging on. And then I'll have it rebuilt and it will sit on the shelf for,
We gotta come up with 2 new pumps.
Can we use that money we get from West Mansion, because
Yeah,
that's what it was for, well, we just buy 2 new pumps out of
we
that.
can buy 2 pumps out of that money.
well, that's up to you. I just, I need one, right?
Well, Gary,
They're sending one, so I need one more.
and we
Definitely.
gotta have a spare.
And then we need a spare, yes.
I would rather start that lift station out with 2 new pumps,
Okay,
and you've got the spare sitting here.
okay.
That sounds,
Well, then if you wanna do that,
bump it up.
take off the $1,350 for the 2 brackets. Well, no, I'd have to have 1 bracket, because I've only
One
got,
bracket.
I'd have to have 1 bracket, so 675 off of that 37,000.
And we've got more than that, enough in that account.
You're talking about the wastewater ones,
Yeah.
Aaron? We haven't touched it since it started, it's 40,000 a quarter.
4,000 a quarter, so.
Okay,
Oh,
so,
at least 200.
250, 300,000.
We just got 1 month for rail, and it was almost 2,000.
Well, it
So,
wasn't full rate.
nope. Nope.
So,
I'll make a motion to buy 2
I'll
new
second
pumps.
that in a heartbeat.
oh, one other thing, since we're talking about that lift station. I noticed last night the wiring and stuff, to me, a lot of that needs replaced, Gary,
oh, you're talking about,
for your,
crane part of it? Or the?
yeah, I told him last night, the truck was down. They're cranking with a hand crank.
Oh, Jesus.
I told him, take that thing off, fix a plate on it, get a Harbor Freight winch, put it on there, plug it into the circuit board.
Yeah.
And that way they can bring it up and down with a, because that cranking last night was terrible. And there's no reason to be cranking as old as you are. But they need to do something like that, and then some of your float wiring,
Yeah.
looks like it needs to be,
That's just basically, that's maintenance, just get it done.
so.
No need.
There'll be a little more in it, Morgan.
You warned me earlier. Did we make a motion?
I made a motion,
Okay.
or you made a motion, I
Ralph and
seconded it.
Larry.
Rob, okay.
And any other discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Looks fine.
Go and get some sleep, Gary.
Right. Okay, since we're close to the park, Tammy, you heard anything from the window guys?
Yeah, I know the frames are built for the big windows. He wasn't sure on install. I messaged him again today. Yeah, for the update, and he said he'd check and let me know. So I know the frames are built for the big windows. I just don't know when they're gonna get installed, and they need to finish up that walk door. I asked him if they're gonna paint it black to match everything else. He didn't respond to that either, so I'll keep on him again.
What's done, looks good.
Yeah, what's done looks really nice. I mean,
When this building's, the windows and doors are done, you guys need to all go through there
But we need that meeting.
and look what you wanna do.
I think we need a meeting there.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody needs to go there and look through it and make some decisions. I'm not the good guy that needs to be doing that. So, because I know you've got some prints
Yeah, we've
and
got
stuff
prints.
that you guys said about
I
making
started
changes.
making copies of those for you guys, and I just didn't get them done and get them out. I've had a rough couple of months, so. I apologize.
The driveway looks awesome. At the north end of the park, it's been paved, there's a little bit more work to do on it. Is that correct, Gary? The parking lots are done?
Oh, yeah, the only thing that's not done is the approach off of Morrison Street. It's gotta be finished, and the path, the walk path.
Playground?
Yeah, they gotta fix that. That's the only
And-
thing that's left to be done.
I was out there today.
We won't be
I
billed
think
till
it's
it's
up
done.
there.
So,
I'm sorry?
I said, I talked to him today, we won't be billed till it's done. So, yeah, it looked good out there, the parking lots and everything. Any other part?
Got, well, it's with revitalization. Dee Dee and I get together tomorrow morning, Lisa will be with her. With what we're doing up that way or towards town, where do we want to try to aim? I know we've got another group that's going to be working on grants and all that. I don't want to lose Dee Dee's efforts. We got any projects that are within her purvey that we could work
If you
on?
want to bring to the table, we'll certainly.
Look at it.
Well, they're looking, she's looking for ideas too. I'm sure two of them will come up with something. I just want to make sure that, we're not barking up the wrong tree one another. It could even be on the pathway for Asbury and Asbury through here, if that's something we could do. I think that would be a nice, to do the walkway from, the trailhead heading back towards the park.
Yeah, I mean, we,
Here.
yeah, we could look at that, and just some other things out there, just go through it.
It'd be nice if we could make it a little drive, even at some point, not necessarily now, but, traffic could come in and out off of Asbury into the park, down the traction line and the old Davis Lane, around that way too.
Just look it over, and you guys decide what needs to be done.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's focus to interpretation.
Surprise everybody. Okay. Miscellaneous.
Move to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Okay, move to adjourn, second, all in favor? Aye. All right, we're out of here.